Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com. Welcome again to Switzerland, this land of beauty, shining, energetic, gorgeous energy. I've been here like for a couple of days now, and last night I went to sleep in nature. Okay, it's a set of circumstances that would be too long to explain, but what I want to say to you here is that when you live in buildings, apartments, houses, surrounded by the walls of your house, it creates a very specific set of connections with nature. It arranges your relationship to the planet in a certain way and creates an elemental protection around you. And this protection might be a good thing, if what you have around is wild beasts wanting to eat you. But if what you have around are, forests and beautiful energies and, the waters, like here, the waters of the lake, and all these elemental forces which are extremely powerful and beautiful, if this is what you are cutting yourself from, you are cutting yourself from a very essential source of life force and life power. So the moment you actually start staying, outdoor, most of the time, it shifts fundamentally the relationship that you have with the planet and your energy level as well. What I'm doing here is a mystical quest, and it's part of traditions that monks, sadhus, yogis have been going for all over the world for a long, long time. And I have this calling sometimes, even within Europe, to just take off, take off and be in the forest, be in nature, be in the cities, without surrounding myself with the protection of the walls of a house or an apartment. And yes, sometimes the circumstances bring me to that position, but it's a fascinating experience to try, because you will notice that something very magical starts happening. So this morning I was right here by the lake, doing some yoga, having some breakfast. I slept in the forest a little bit further. It's quite chilly, but I'm equipped to be able to spend nights like that. And right now I'm going to go and have some coaching calls. So places where I get internet access. I have my laptop with me. I'm equipped to be fully functional, and it's very kind of fascinating thing to do, to actually engage into that type of experiment. Going outdoors, simply being okay with not being surrounded by the protection of a house and everything that goes with it, water, electricity, all that. So you end up looking for solutions and survival strategies, but it's sustainable. And the thing which is most important of all is, how do you sustain your emotional balance, and not just your emotional balance, but really thrive within an experience like this one. And this is what is where the juice is, because if you actually engage into energy techniques, activation techniques, the bliss that starts pouring in is it's fascinating. It's incredible. I want to tell you more about this experiment. I started engaging into it about 15, 16 years ago. I think around 1995, 1996. I took off and started living in the forests of Europe for about 6 months. So I was over here in Switzerland, Austria, Hungary. I took off to Greece, then went to some Greek islands, and Cyprus as well. And I must say that in terms of mystical realizations, there was a very, very high peak of clarity in the mind, and bliss and shining and connection with other human beings and with nature and the planet around that time. It's around that time that I realized that my home is the planet, my family is humankind. I realized that even though I had very little left, in terms of resources, in terms of all the things that people usually have in life, I didn't have all that stuff anymore. I had a little bit of money left. I still had family and things, and I still had possibilities to go and find jobs. But What I mean is that when you come to an edge where you have a feeling that everything is gone and you go back to nature, you realize that everything you need is right there. It's still right there. It's your life force, your life power, your energy, the core of your being. So once you start realizing that this is the core place of security in your life, it's not the things which are out there. You know, having a house or having a car or having a bank account and having all these things, this is not where you get security. Where you get real security, a sense of permanence, a sense of power, is really in what you have in your heart, in your being, in the life force that is flowing in your system. That's what I realized. This is where I have life force. This is where I have the permanence, the energy, the connection with the planet, humankind, and further. Okay? So what I'm really extremely excited about is the fact that when I engaged into this experiment 15, 16 years ago, I was missing lots of elements in terms of tactics, survival. You know, I didn't have the nutrition tactics that I have now. I didn't have the emotional balance, all the energy building techniques, and I didn't have also a sense of mastery with the networking power surrounding the planet. You know, the internet didn't exist around that time. So when you wanted to connect, it was slow. You needed to find a phone. You know, there was still something that was very slow. Now with the technology and using the systems that are in place out there to serve you, then it radically empowers me in that experiment. And this is really, really fascinating. What I feel right now is that I might very well, I mean, I'm always inviting people to come and join me, but do that in a more specific way with a few people that I know would be interested in joining me in this experiment, and see how it goes. You know, you can just take your backpack and start moving around. You know, right now here in Switzerland it's very easy because distances are very short, so I can go to the other side of the country in beautiful mountain areas, take the train and be there within 4 or 5 hours, and you know, for maybe $50-$60, that's it. So it's easy to move around with the public transports. It's easy to sustain. You know, you have fresh water everywhere. Lots of shops to buy food if you need to, and so you can really sustain you know, this kind of lifestyle. When I was doing that years ago, I was going around with a friend, and we were, you know, playing music in markets and singing, you know, old medieval songs, and there was a whole, you know, kind of mystical approach also to it, which is like the old mystical tradition of Europe, you know, the tradition of the troubadours, which are, you know, like circus people going around villages and shining, and doing that also out of a mystical quest. You know, there is something really real about that, which is going back to the sources and expressing themselves freely within that. So what I enjoy really a lot about this is this feeling of expansion that I'm experiencing right now. And the experiment goes on. It goes on with way more depth and maturity than anything I experienced before. And you know, I might be called to go back into the security of a house and apartment soon. You know, I have some friends which are asking me for help, and clients who want to host me. So I will probably, you know, I might go back to be more indoor very soon, but I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's one of important piece in building up security in your life. It's like, you know, when you're afraid of the woods at dark, for instance. Lots of people are afraid to be in the woods at dark, right? And this is because you have this subconscious fear that comes from thousands of years ago, when it was actually dangerous to be in the woods. You know, you have dangerous animals that were ready to eat you alive, right? So, or other tribes. So it was a time where it was, you know, dangerous. Now I feel that in our subconscious minds as human race, there is still these fears are still embedded, even though the danger is mostly gone. You know, there's nobody in the forest. There are no dangerous animals, at least here in Switzerland. So you can be in the forest and be safe. All you need to do to be there is to actually maintain a sense of emotional and psychic balance and energy. So what I wanted to say is that the moment you realize that you can be in the bush and be okay with that, you have all this aspect of nature that you conquer. So it's a big territory. It expands the territory or the potential of the things that you can do. It's like being able to swim for long distances. This gives you a certain autonomy. It expands your emotional space, and it expands the sphere and the relationship that you have with nature and the planet. So once you get that feeling, it's like the need to be in a house is partially gone, and it gives you a tremendous sense of security, because for lots of people, you take away their house and it's like the whole being collapses, right? It's their self-esteem, it's like the whole being goes down, and some people lose their house and they commit suicide because they feel this is it, it's over, it's finished, I lost my dignity. And it's not true. You don't lose anything, you just lose a bunch of bricks piled together. That's all you lose. Of course, you might have been investing lots of time and energy and money into that, I understand. But the point is that even when you lose that, the fundamental thing which is still left is this incredible power, resource and energy which is flowing in the core of your being. So once you have that, I mean, the expansion is amazing, because suddenly your energetic field becomes universal, becomes linked. Instead of being the property of your own personal space, it becomes something universal. You merge with the full energies of nature and humankind and the whole planet. I love life so much. It's like, I don't know, we are so freaking lucky to be on this planet. Everything, all the sensations, everything that we can experience as human beings. I'm so grateful for all of that. I send you tons of bliss from Europe, from Switzerland, from the goddess Helvetica. Helvetia is the old Roman name for Switzerland, and this is how I relate to this land. I call this land Helvetica. Helvetica, which is like a goddess, warrior, strong energy coming from the mountains and from the lakes and the forests. Stay tuned.